Field, after we're done with the recording this episode for In Good Company, do you want to, let's go out. Let's paint the town red. Let's get some drinks or something, right?
Mike, I am having my excitement tonight is going to be dinner with my family. I mean, do you want to have dinner with my family?
I would like, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Let me stop you right there. That's not happening.
Ladies and gentlemen, please notice that exits are conveniently located at the front and rear of this auditorium. When leaving the theater, we suggest that the exit at the front of the auditorium will allow you easier access to the parking areas. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler.
And this is Forgotten Cinema. Each episode, we highlight a film that, for a variety of reasons, was forgotten by audiences. Whether it be a more popular film was released at the same time, or the movie simply didn't catch on with an audience in its initial run. We discuss what we love about the movie or don't love about it, but we always recommend you revisit it. If you like Forgotten Cinema, we would love to hear from you. We are on all the social platforms, especially YouTube if you're watching this. We have a backlog of over 300 episodes that are for your listening pleasure, but reach out. Let us know what's going on. Tell us your thoughts. Tell us your movie hot takes. We love to hear them. We love to talk films. But right now, we're going to get into this film. So let's get into it. Mike, what's going on?
Oh, nothing much. As you know, I've been killing it in cell phones. Killing it in cell phones. And so I finally got hit up to the big leagues. My mentor, who's he's a shark. He's definitely a shark. He's gonna go run the ads. This major sports
Teddy
paper
K
in New York City, and I'm there. I'm there. I'm gonna run that ad department. I'm gonna boost sales. I am gonna lower overhead costs by 20%. And I'm just gonna kill it. I'm gonna be the next guy. And Teddy K knows my name. He knows my name.
Killing it.
But also, I just really want a family. I just really want someone to look up to. I never really had parents, and
synergy.
I just you can't break this.
Butler, you got to go from this to this.
So the guy who used to run the department, he now works under me. I fell in love with his daughter. It's really awkward. He keeps begging me to fire him, and even though he acts like an ass all the time, I'm not firing him. I don't know why.
Why would you fire Dennis Quaid? That's great.
Because I need him. I love him.
That's right. We're wrapping up our season 23 with the movie In Good Company, an early 2000s film. So let's get into the facts and we'll get into our discussion. You had never seen this film, right?
No, I mean, I knew about it. I've seen the trailers. It's not one I didn't know about, but I never saw it.
Cool. Well, I have seen it, so this will be interesting. All right. In Good Company has a runtime of 110 minutes. It's rated PG-13. Production budget of $26 million. Its wide release date was January 14th, 2005. This did have a limited release date to get in slide in for the Oscar season. So its limited release date was like December 29th. So it would qualify, but its wide release date, as I said, as I'm stumbling through this, January 14th, 2005. Its opening weekend, it did $16.6 million. That weekend, it did $16.6 million. Domestic, it's 46. International was 15, as I pull a dog hair from my microphone. And for a worldwide total of $61 million. We are unedited. We don't care. Press company was Universal Pictures and Depth of Field, and it was distributed by Universal Pictures as well.
Depth of Field.
There you go.
Never heard of that.
Well, now you have.
Well, look at that.
It's probably, I didn't look it up, but it might be like, Chris White's and Paul White's company. I'm not sure. I probably should, we are a podcast about movies.
It's fine.
You really should look things up.
It's all right.
I apologize. So I said it came out the 14th and it's wide. Let's go back to the 7th of January where you had a wide release of White Noise, the Michael Keaton one. Do you ever see the trailer? I watched the trailer.
You've never seen the movie?
No.
Oh, that's a good one for the list. It's actually, I like it.
I take it back. I might have, but I'm confusing it with a Kiefer Sutherland film. Was he in the sequel or something? Why do I feel like there's a Kiefer Sutherland? Oh, was that Mirrors? Was that one?
There is a weird,
he was looking for his wife in all the mirrors.
There is a creepy Kiefer Sutherland, but yeah, it's not the same. White Noise, I actually like White Noise. That's a good one for the list.
The trailer is like, it's like, those people are coming to, those are dead people talking to you through the electronics.
It is probably super dated and not really good. It's probably like another product of its time. Like half the movies I've chosen for season 23, which seem to be like early 2000s films. But I thought it was.
We'll put it on the list, but put the little parentheses for FH for forgotten horror.
I think it is on the list.
I don't think it is.
I don't know if it's a good forgotten horror film.
Well, it's a horror movie.
It's horror-ish, yeah.
Anyways, the day that this film came out on the 14th, it went up against wide releases of Elektra, Racing Stripes, Coach Carter, and House of Flying Daggers. I know you saw Elektra that weekend.
I've actually never seen Elektra.
What?
I used to love the soundtrack, but yeah, I never saw Elektra because the reviews were so bad.
You still gotta see it.
Exactly. I do have to see it. And I think we talked about it on the Daredevil episode that I never saw it.
I don't remember.
I do want to see it, but at this point, it's going to be really hard to find. But I would like to see it.
I can find it. So you got a wide after that. The Wednesday after that,
House of Flying Daggers.
Okay, well, thanks for interrupting me. But
You're very welcome.
Nobody cares about your Asian cinema aficionados. Oh man, I can't talk today. We shouldn't do shorts before this because I just can't talk. Okay, anyways. So the week after, you had a Wednesday release of Assault on Precinct 13, which is the remake, which I watched a trailer for, and I know I had seen this film, but I forgot that they kind of changed around like who is actually storming the precinct. You ever see the original?
I never saw the original,
but you saw the remake.
I've seen the remake.
The original. So in the remake, it's it's cops are going in there to try to kill Lawrence Fishburne because he's a gangster that's going to turn on the cops that are all dirty, and that's what led by Gabriel Byrne. They're going in there, and then Ethan Hawke is the guy that's inside the precinct, and he asks the other inmates to pick up their weapons and
fight with them. Yeah.
In the original, they have a gang leader, they have somebody in there, but it's all these gangs. They put a bounty on whoever can go in there and get him. And so all these gangs are just attacking the precinct.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool. I like that. Yeah.
That's obviously John Carpenter as well. So you should see the original.
I should. I like John. I do.
That has that famous scene with the ice cream cone. Where the girl's holding the ice cream, she gets shot, and it's the air.
Oh, that's from Assault on Precinct. Okay,
yeah. And then the week after the 21st, so that Friday week, you had wide releases of Are We There Yet and Sideways. Sideways is a great film. Check it out.
Which ones Are We There Yet?
That's the one with Ice Cube. Where he's updating the mother, and then he's got to take care of the kids. Yeah. Followed, I think they had a sequel called Are We? Not Are We There Yet? Are We Done Yet? I think, or something like that. There was a sequel like something like that. All right, so this film was written and directed by Paul Weitz, who has done American Pie, Little Fockers. He was nominated for an Oscar for writing for About a Boy, which is a great film, and American Dreams he wrote. Cinematographer was Remy Adafsarin, did Sliding Doors, Match Point, and nominated for an Oscar for Elizabeth. I probably messed that name up. Composer was Stephen Trask, did Hedwig and the Angry Itch and The Nice Guys.
A movie we did.
Edited by Myron Kirstein, Kirstein has done Wicked, which is nominated for, and Tick Tick Boom Boom, another nomination. I guess a kind of a sizable cast. You had Dennis Quaid as Dan, who is our older 53-year-old man. 51, 53?
53.
I related big time, but I
figured
he definitely looks like
he looks way older than
my note. My note when I'm watching it going, I cannot imagine my wife being like having a baby at 50. Like now, my wife's my age now, so she's not, we're done having kids.
Well, he thought so too.
But they never say how old Mark Helgenberg is.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, she should be like in her late 30s in this film.
I think it would be, and they don't bring it up in the movie, but it would have been really ironic if she was the same age difference between her and Topher Grace and Scarlett Johansson. The two of them.
Maybe.
Because that makes him a hypocrite. And I think that makes it more interesting.
True. So anyway, Dennis Quaid has been in Inner Space, Frequency, and The Day After Tomorrow. Topher Grace plays Carter, the young buck who's come in to take over. He's from obviously the TV show That 70s Show. He's in Spider-Man 3 and the movie Traffic. Scarlett Johansson as Alex from obviously she's Black Widow in the MCU film. She's been nominated for 2 Oscars, one for Marriage Story and the other for Jojo Rabbit. Mark Helgenberger, as we just said, is Anne, who is Dan's wife and obviously Alex's mother. She is in TV show CSI, the original CSI. She's in the movie Species and Aaron Brockovich. David Paymer as Morty, who is one of the guys that works there from Mr. Saturday Night, which he got nominated for. He's also in State of Maine, really good film, and Get Shorty. Clark Gregg as Steckel, as Butler was talking to the Carter's
the shark.
The Carter's mentorish.
Yeah.
He's obviously Agent Coulson in the MCU series. He's also in a movie called Spartan, another good film. And then you had Philip Baker Hall in there as like one of their clients from Hard 8 and Magnolia. Selma Blair as Carter's wife. Very briefly, she leaves him. Frankie Faison's in there as Corwin, and then Ty Burrell is in there as his buddy. Not really his buddy, the guy that gets fired that thinks he's not going to get fired, but he's in there real quick. So, but it's really just focused on Dan's family and Carter and his like kind of him and Steckel and kind of thing. It's really, really hard.
Right. It's a very tight cast. Yeah.
So, all right. So let's start off with Butler. First time seeing it.
First time seeing it.
First time impressions. What do you wanna go here?
It's weird because as I was watching the film, I was like, I don't get I was like kind of like not boring, but I was like, I don't get what this is trying to say.
Sure.
And I didn't understand what they were trying to do with Carter's character.
Mm-hmm.
So it was hard for me to latch on. I was like, are they trying to make Carter the main character? Is Dan the main character? Are they trying to make Carter unlikable? Are they trying to make him likable? And it was really making me not really enjoy the film.
Mm-hmm.
But by the end of the movie, I was happy I had watched the film.
Yes.
So it's a weird thing where like while watching the film, I was like, I don't know if I like this. And by the end of the film, I was like, okay, I like this. I was like, I get it now. And it's weird that I didn't understand what they were trying to do for like probably the first 65% of the film.
It's I agreed. When I first watched it, I liked it. I put it on the list. This watch, I think I was pinpointing, like I was struggling like you were in the beginning. And this movie has a lot of heart, but there's never, and again, I hate when we rewrite stuff, but the character of Carter, with Topher Grace's character, he comes in, he's clearly masquerading for obviously low self-esteem. Like that's there.
Right. Yeah.
But they never have a moment where he really like breaks down with Dan, like to Dan. There's always like he's always still putting the face on the entire time.
Yes.
You do have that moment in the end of the second, beginning of the third act where he is where she dumps him, where Alex says like, you're on the rebound. He's like, no, I'm not. There is that.
Yeah.
But there's never really a moment in the film where Carter the facade is gone. He is completely honest. He is completely just like, you know what I mean? Like with Dan, not with Alex, with Dan.
Yeah.
Because with Alex, that can be misconstrued as because he's like, I tell the truth when you're around. Like that, he's attracted to her. So that could be misconstrued as he's attracted to this girl. So he's going to just
that's what Alex thinks. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I think there needs to be a moment of really a bigger connection with him and Dan. I think it's there, but you have to piece it together as you're watching the film.
Yeah.
So I think that, but as you get to the end of the film, you kind of get that.
You get enough pieces that you put it together. Right. Yeah.
The other thing with this movie is that it felt like an independent film that had a little bit of a budget, especially like in the montage scene when him and Alex are walking. They got the Damien Rice song going. It's a really cool song.
Yeah.
Like we talk about all the time with indies and other films like Ghost Town, stuff like that, how New York is a character in the film. This is absolutely true to that a little bit. They a little bit. Yeah. Although when what makes me laugh is when they're at the cafe, at the little cafe, and it's like obviously in the village somewhere. I'm like, oh, this is really cool. Let's take a walk. And like they're in Manhattan. Like I'm like, that's
all of a sudden they're downtown.
There's nothing good looking about this shot you're in right now. So like that kind of bugged me, but I think there is like the attempt of that. So I think it's definitely New York is that.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, definitely when you have the Damien, like you said, when Damien Rice starts playing and I think it's Cannonball, right? Plays. Yes. It's like, it's a nice scene. I like it. I think they're also trying to romanticize New York a little bit. Obviously they're trying to make it like more like France. I feel like it's like a French bistro. We can fall in love here and just walk the streets and it's fine.
I do kind of wish
people are throwing crabs out onto the sidewalk. I'm just like, when he does, I'm like, you're gonna get fined, dude. That's not okay in New York.
I do kind of wish they gave me a little bit more about the geography of where the original company that Carter. I assume it was in New York. That
at first I thought it wasn't. And he moved to New York.
Yeah. Where he lives. Okay. Where Dan lives. Is Dan in Connecticut? Is Dan in Westchester? Is he in New Jersey? Like, where do these people live? You don't tell him.
I mean, I assume Connecticut, but I think that you have. I mean, just because they're so close. Come in on a Sunday and he's just in. New Jersey would be, and maybe upstate New York. Maybe.
When they fly, when the beginning of the movie, Dan is flying out.
Right.
Is he going to California? Is he going to Chicago? Where is he going?
Yeah, like they don't really show. They show the walkway.
Yeah.
And they don't really show exactly, and that they're plane touching down.
Yeah.
Which I think they show the same plane touching down.
Of course it does. Probably. Yeah. Well, again, I was like, there's a lower budget.
I think it's the same shot from the.
And I'm not saying it's like it not having this information affected my. I just was like, I need to know where are they?
You know what's interesting? Now that you say that, I'm like, oh, I did not look at a single license plate, and I was not sure.
Well, yeah, that's true.
What did you think of? Like, one of my other issues is Dan and his basically wishing to be fired. Like, I don't know if I get that, but not when you have a baby, like a kid on the way, and you're doing the NYU, and he is so, and Carter like calls him out on it too. Do you want me to fire you? But it's like he does. He's
but
like,
I think that's a natural reaction to just be like you're being it's a natural reaction when somebody is threatening, like everything's out of whack. You're lost control. You
sure, yeah.
Like I mean, like like Dan is sitting there and saying like, not only did I lose my job, it's given to this kid who's half my age, and now he's my boss.
Yeah,
like, and in the heat of the moment, you might not want that. You know what I mean? You might not want to.
Sure, but this isn't the heat of the moment. By the time they're in the bar and he's like, "Oh, you can't fire Marty,"
like, whatever. He's forced to fire the people that he hired.
Yeah, he's like, "Do you want me to fire you?" But he's like, "I do. I have double their salary." I was like, "It's like, why would you even bring that up when you like?" I get the frustration. I get wanting to quit your job.
I don't.
But when you like, it's so illogical in that moment because he does have a kid on the way. His daughter is going to NY. He just took out a second mortgage. Why is the 25-year-old the one who has to bring that up to you? I just don't. That didn't ring true for me.
Yeah.
Him playing it that on the and maybe it's because it's a film, so you have to.
Yeah.
Maybe they couldn't figure out a way to more subtly do it, but like he's really asking for it in a way that in real life, Carter would probably be like, screw it. Okay, you're fired.
He's completely unhappy. He's unhappy with what's going on. But yes, but when he has to sit down and think about it, when Carter forces him to be like, do you really want that? He's got to be the responsible person to keep the job.
Yeah, but that should always be is always in his head because he's using the credit card at Target, getting the baby supplies, and he's like, like that's clearly already in his head, and yet he's like, you should fire me. Like that doesn't ring true to me.
I think
only because of the stuff that's there.
But I can relate to that, and I want to talk about the theater days. Towards the end of the theater days, Mike, you didn't want to be there. And you were
absolutely. Like, I didn't have a kid on the way and putting another kid in
regardless
college.
of that, you still didn't want to be there.
Oh, absolutely not. It was torture for me.
Right. So you were just, and given the situation that you are in after that immediately, like, then you realize like, wait a minute, I'm not getting this repeat amount of money every week, even though I can't stand the job and I'm glad I left, but I am missing like that kind of stuff all factors in. I know you don't have a kid. I know all of that stuff.
But yeah, I don't have other people on the line that were like, it was like, I was going to screw over my children. That's the only thing.
I got you. Well,
if he didn't have that, I would be like, okay, yes.
To that point, the end of the movie when Foreman has that speech, when he comes in and he's just like, he starts not challenging Teddy K, but he starts asking the question.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense because it's like the only outcome for this is you're getting fired.
Yeah.
That is the only, and it's like, that is the only, like, why? Why are you saying this? There's no reason for you to say this that's not like what you're saying isn't even a strong enough, like he doesn't care. Teddy K doesn't care.
I was thinking the whole time. I was like, you're a peon.
You're affecting nobody.
Nothing to him.
You're affecting nobody. You're just saying it for the sake of you saying it in the hope that the people that are watching, and I'm thinking of writing the screenplay, the audience that's watching it is going to be like, yeah. But again, this is not new. This is not like this anti-corporate, like what's happening. This is not new at this time in 2005. It's not new now, obviously. And it wasn't new in the 90s or in the 80s. Like this is the classic argument. So there is nothing that you were saying in this film that is such a like watershed moment in corporate America politics. So it's not, you're not breaking ground here. You're just basically saying, I'm unhappy. You tell me what you don't know what you're talking about. And the other thing too is like, because he wants to put ads in the magazine for computers, that doesn't make that as much. That's fine. I don't understand like why does that not make sense to you?
Because he doesn't want to put articles. It's not just ads. He wants articles about computers.
Yeah. Okay. And I don't know. I'm sorry, but do you ever read a Wired magazine before? Like that's all the articles are. So like that.
Because they're like a Sports Illustrated.
That's an illogical argument.
My thing is, why are you making that argument when you sell ads? You just sell the ads.
That's the other thing too.
So who cares what the articles are about?
Sports America, which is clearly Sports Illustrated. Right. That's what they're trying to say. Like, where are the editors? Where are the writers? Where are the people that actually do it?
Only ever on the ad.
Why are there not? Why are there not like athletes walking through like you just show me one floor of this place. Like there are tons of other people that work for this company. Yeah, that kind of annoyed me. Can you tell?
The job section of it doesn't make any sense. No. And you never see what's this? The mentor's name? Coulson's character. Steckel. You never see Steckel, but he's clearly in the building because he says, we're moving in. We're taking over.
Yeah.
I want you in ads, but he doesn't come check up. He doesn't really do anything.
He's obviously an example of, that kind of somebody who drinks the juice really a lot in terms of corporate.
He's chugging that Kool-Aid.
I know a few. And, but he's a little bit over the top to the point where like he is in all, like I feel like he is in some kind of surrealistic movie that we are not in.
He's in a more extreme version of Wall Street. Right. And like, That's not what this movie is. Yeah.
Right.
So when he gets fired, it's hard to feel bad for him at all.
And again, the other thing is they go and make the sale at the end. Like, well, we're gonna
within one day.
Right. Within one day, but also really one client was gonna put you over the top. Like you haven't had any sales. So this one client is gonna buy so much that it's gonna get 20% of your budget. You need that 20% over.
I think they only needed 13%.
But that whole company, like I just need a little bit more of some explainers. Just toss something in there.
Why is Teddy K coming to make that huge speech to the company when within 24 hours he's going to sell it to the other company, which is a deal that was probably already happened? So why even bother making the speech?
Because it's optics. I 100% believe that.
But he's only making a speech to the ad floor.
Because you never listen to what people say. You listen to what they do. It's never about what they say. I mean, I don't want to get down a rabbit hole here because then I may lose a job. But
I just don't get why he comes to the ad floor to make a speech to the ad floor. That's not important.
Well, because it's the movie.
It's not. Yeah, he's not making a speech to the press.
Yeah,
it's not a party. Yeah, I could believe it if it was like after hours. He invites the whole team and it's at some event and there's press there and everything and it's like a party.
Yeah,
and it's nighttime and then Dan has like a moment where he's like.
So there's multiple themes that are running throughout this film. Obviously, corporate America versus, I guess, just
also kind of corporate because it's Sports Illustrated. It's not a small company.
Real work or something like that, or just how it used to be or something. I guess.
I think people to people, being more about people than it is about downsizing to make a quota.
You have a generational conflict between Dan and Carter, but it's really not mined a lot. It's really not. It's more of like Carter's in need of a real mentor.
Yeah.
And he finds it in Dan unknowingly until he realizes, yes, he's the better role model than Steckel, but they really don't go into it that much. That's me reading into it. That's really like surface level.
The only time you really get that though, I mean, that's what they're trying to say, but you really only get that at the end when they go to the final meeting.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's like you get the one other scene where they go to this Madison Square Garden and they're watching the concert.
Legally Dead.
With 2 Ds. And like, okay, his way is get him in the box seat, and Dan's like, no, my guys don't want it. They want to be in the front. They want to experience the real stuff.
I do think that conversation outside of Madison Square Garden, when he was telling him like, this company bought us, and I've been instructed not to work.
Oh, because they're bad blood.
But because the two corporates are fighting, like that's absolutely that's very relevant to today.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then you have the other kind of back and forth between Dan's life and his work life, and like what his identity is at work, what his identity is at home. Again, that's another one I'm reading a lot into that because it's really just about he's a family man. He needs to do right by his family.
Right.
I mean, what happens with Dan at the end, like how it all works out, is a little far fetched. The fact that he would just get his job back, another company buys you. And
we're gonna put this
here.
The 53-year-old who was demoted, but we're going to bring him back.
That would.
The only thing I would think is because that's the company that was beefing, right? That ended up buying him.
Yes.
So like somehow the guy that was at the concert is high up enough to be like, hey, you should hire.
Maybe.
Like, but I would need that scene. Yeah. That's what I was thinking that whole time. I was like, how did he get his job back if that guy didn't put a word in for him?
Yeah. So there's like 3 or 4 themes that are in this film, but never really any of them are really the main theme. There really isn't a kind of like a main thoroughfare theme. It's just basically all those together.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I think the whole thing is mostly just get Carter a father figure. Like the themes really aren't as important as.
So then, yeah.
Let's watch this kid finally find a father figure and become less of a douche.
Well, so do you think this movie would be stronger if you eliminated the Alex stuff, the love interest stuff, and you just focused on Carter trying to be Carter and Dan and Steckel and all that stuff? Keep the corporate stuff, but morally, Carter never had a father. He says it as his father left them.
Yeah,
so but that's the only time you ever hear that. Like, you think there needs to be? You think this movie is a little stronger if you just focus on those things?
I need a little bit more, but I like the Alex stuff because it shows that he is also immature. He doesn't know he wants a family so bad that he's just willing to like put himself out there and pretend that there's a relationship between people that aren't. It happened with his wife and it happens with Alex. So I think it's important to the character. And I like that he doesn't end up with Alex, and I like that Alex is too immature for him, not too immature for him, but not at the same place in her life as he is.
I love that when you first see Alex, she's a kid. She's his daughter. And then when she starts going to NYU, they change her hair. She's like,
got makeup on.
All of a sudden, she's aged 3 years. Like, just like, okay. So I got, okay. But what helps with those scenes is that Scarlett Johansson is really good in the movie. Like, she's obviously very strong.
She plays it really well.
Yeah. And Topher Grace is always going to be Topher Grace. That's it. But I actually like him. So
he's good. Yeah. He's underrated.
Right. Totally.
It's just hard for people to see past Eric Foreman.
Because he did that role so well.
What I also thought was weird is in one of the very few notes that are in the movie is like they wanted an actor from that 70s show.
They had Ashton Kutcher.
They wanted Ashton Kutcher, and then they got Topher Grace. But like,
no, he left.
Oh, did he leave? I thought
Kutcher was signed up, and then he left for creative differences.
Okay,
and I'm thinking it's because he wanted to be more slapstick. Because that's his brand. That's more his brand. This type of film is not his brand.
Oh no, not at all.
I mean, at least back then when he was first.
As I was thinking, I was like, I think he'd have been miscast. But like, if you knew you wanted to get someone, like, why would you call why would you put Dan's last name as Foreman? The whole time I'm just thinking,
they probably didn't
that's
think
ironic.
Of that. That's such an easy name. That's such a regular name.
As soon as they got Topher Grace, he didn't go, funny. That's my last name on that 70s show. They were like,
well, it's staying.
We'll be right back.
Who the hell are you?
Change.
Who the hell are you? I'm Paul White. No, I don't know if he said that. I'm just joking. Butler, I just don't like corporate America.
No. Who does?
A lot of people.
Because they drinking that Kool-Aid, man.
You think that it's
when they get paid?
let's tangent a little bit here. Do you think it's because people feel safe in that environment because sometimes not a lot is asked of them? They are basically just kind of.
Oh, absolutely.
They work 40-hour work weeks, but they're probably only working 15 of those 40.
There's a middleman situation where there's just a lot, and there's no way to take it away because that's just built into the structure over the last, I think you said from probably the 70s. So that's like 50 years of just continued middlemanning to the point where, yes, very little gets done. You don't have to work hard. It's easy to put the blame on somebody else, and it's easy to just make buzzwords and get people excited because
synergy. The
whole thing is just marketing to not just your customer base, but to your people.
Yeah. And
drinking that, like we experienced at our job. I know you're experiencing it, and even the little bit of work I do, we experience it.
Yeah,
like, there's definitely this Kool-Aid, these buzzwords that go around and go away and come back. And every year there's new buzzwords.
Not just
that
buzzwords,
people
but
use.
Trends in business, certain ways to view your job and ways to work and how to collaborate with people and how to communicate with people. It's always there's always something different and new around the horizon. That's pretty much saying the same thing.
It's a cult-like mentality,
different step processes and different mindsets and all that stuff. There's all these different things, but it's I am somebody, and we both are. I know you're like this too. I am somebody who does not really buy into motivational speakers. I don't. But my point is this: if somebody, like I said this one time to a person, like if you go into a motivational speaker helps you, that's great. Good for you. I'm glad it helps you. For me, I don't find motivation in other people telling me like what they did and how they did it and how I just need to follow the steps. Like my motivation is within me and with doing it and people around me that are doing it. Like if I'm working with somebody who I see is busting their butt doing something, that motivates me to help them. That doesn't listening to somebody tell me like, I'm going to say this one time and I'm not going to say his name, but people probably know, like if I hold my 3 fingers up like this, the next 3 things I'm about to give you need to write down. I wanted to give him the finger because it's like, dude, come on. Like you're not that. Give me a break. So like I am not, but that's like big in the corporate space. That's big in the corporate world. And I get it. If it works for people, that's great. Good for you. I don't begrudge that. But for me personally, like what I begrudge is when people don't understand why it doesn't affect me. I'm like, because it doesn't. Like that's the thing. I have this in a script, and this was a conversation. This is kind of along the same lines. Extroverts always tell introverts, hey, why can't you just open up a little bit more? Why can't you just talk more? But nobody ever tells the extroverts to just, can you just not talk? Can you just be quiet? Like, can you just chill? Like, it's never the other way around. Right. That's BS. So it's like, just because it's not that people aren't doing the thing the way the norm is, it doesn't mean they're wrong.
I don't even think it's not the norm. I think the not the norm is the motivational speaker crap. Because I think most people aren't listening to that and they don't care.
So bring it back into In Good Company. I can completely understand Dan's anger when Carter comes in and they start talking the buzzwords.
Oh yeah,
and the Steckel's more annoying because Steckel is like I don't even think he believes what he's saying.
I 100% think he does.
There's that
he goes to sleep with a Tony K or whatever.
Yeah, Teddy K
pillow.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
He is, like you said before, he is drinking that Kool-Aid.
He's chugging it.
He doesn't know anything else that tastes anything. Everything's so sweet at this point. He doesn't know. But yeah, so like that Dan anger, I feel the fact that I'm old as Dan is in the movie. I don't even know if Dennis Quaid's that old in the movie. I think he's older. I'm not sure if he's in his early 50s at this moment. He might be. Because we don't have to look it up. He might be, but because I was like, I look younger than him. All right, okay, I'm all right. Dennis Quaid's the rough life though. He's done a lot of hard things. Let me get to some reviews because I don't have a lot. I just have a lot of one-liners.
Bring them on.
Roger Ebert, a smart, touching comedy. Dennis Quaid has never been better. Has he never been better?
He's really good in this.
I recommend you watch the drama film show Fortitude. He's really good in that. He's in season 2.
Oh, that's the winter one. Yeah, I saw Fortitude. Never. Yeah.
He's in season 2.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah. No. He's good in a lot of stuff though. So it's hard to like. I think he's really good in this role.
Yeah.
But I think he's really good in a lot of stuff.
Oh, he's a good actor.
Yeah.
I mean, he recently hasn't been in a lot of great films, but I don't think that's his fault.
I think it just happens when you get older.
Yeah. Oh, totally. A.O. Scott from the New York Times says a modest, humane film with charm and emotional intelligence.
Yeah, it's got a lot of charm.
Most of these reviews, they like the film and they like Dennis Quaid in it a lot. So, and I think he is probably the main character, even though
Carter's the one that's got to change the most.
Even though Carter's the one that's going through a lot more.
It's like a two-hander, but it's really Dan is definitely the majority of the scenes.
Yeah.
But I think a little bit of Carter, especially toward the beginning, goes a long way. I think that's probably why.
But I do have negative ones for you.
Okay.
Destin Thompson from the Washington Post says the film wants to be poignant and humorous, but sometimes drifts into lightweight territory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we said, there's a lot of stuff that's like missing. Like it's trying to say something, but it doesn't want to go all the way there.
Yeah, which goes along with this review from Armand White, a feel-good corporate fable that plays things too safely to matter. So like kind of like you were saying, it's not really, doesn't go too deep. It almost like hits the broad strokes of people's issues with working in corporate America in that regard, in the broad strokes of Dan and Carter's
family
play. And as I do the broad stroke, this is the symbol for broad strokes.
I saw what you're doing. Splashing paint everywhere.
So Mike, who would you recommend this film to?
I don't know. Anybody who's looking for.
See you later, guys.
Anybody's looking for something light to watch. Like they don't want like if your partner doesn't want to watch like an action film and you're not really feeling a romantic comedy, I guess this is a good balance.
Is this a coming of age film, but for an older adult?
Yeah, I guess that works. Like you don't want to I can't stand watching movies about teenagers getting over their rough lives of free room and board and getting free school. It's so hard. We've talked about that on the podcast numerous times. But yeah, I guess
so. Perks of being a wallflower is not high on your list.
No, none of those are. But I think yes, this is two different people in other stages of life where things really matter and count. And they're not whining about it like little babies. They're just but they need to change. They need to learn, and so there is stuff there. It's feel good. It's got a nice ending, and it's got an unpredictable ending. It's not like I said, Carter doesn't end up with Alex.
Right. That was just good.
Which is nice. And they don't end up being like buddy and like, oh, we're co-bosses either. So it doesn't give you that expected ending, but it gives you the ending both people need. It's like you said, light brushstrokes. It's easy like Sunday morning. It's a nice, easy watch.
Easy like Sunday morning.
So I would recommend for anybody who wants like a chill movie. I guess that'd be who I would recommend it to. You want something chill? Watching Good Company.
All right, that's a good. How about the fact that when he gets into his Porsche in the beginning, how cheap it looked in the inside of that Porsche.
Oh, it's like, how much did you spend on this Porsche?
It was like,
and then it gets hit, and then like they're acting like it's his fault, but the guy was on his phone who hits him.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay,
yeah, he's on his cell phone, and then the next shot he doesn't have a cell phone. He's just like, "What's going on, man?" And the dealer looks at Carter like, "What?" The other guy was clearly on his cell phone.
One of the scenes that stood out to me. I know we're gonna go next to Wise Forgotten, but one of the scenes that was the scene in the restaurant. I thought that was a good scene. When he comes in, he confronts Carter.
It was
Alex. I like that scene.
Carter needed to get hit.
Yeah, I know. When Dan is firing, when Dan is firing Morty, and I can't remember the other dude's name.
Right,
he's firing them. I thought the reason why I liked that scene was that the dialogue was simple. It didn't go too far. Like it was just kind of like, they had the little moment where he was trying to say, we're going to have to let you go. And then like, cause earlier
he was making fun of the word.
Yeah. Why would you say that? And he's like, we're firing you. Like, so, one guy yells and the other guy, like Morty, just like, exactly.
I know it was hard for you.
If I'm ever in a situation like that, I don't think I would ever be angry. I think because I don't want to give, like, if you were my boss,
you get the power. Yeah.
I don't want to give you the satisfaction of me yelling at you and be like, all right, fine, like whatever, I'm out of here.
Yeah. I think the other thing is, if you know Dan is your friend, then he doesn't want to fire you.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
come on.
Right.
It's like, well, why aren't you fired? Why would you ask that question?
Yeah, exactly.
Why would he fire himself?
Yeah.
Give him.
Would you? Yeah. If the roles were reversed, you wouldn't do that.
You give me a break.
Yeah.
I was like, get out of here then.
Yeah.
And at the end, when only Marty's coming back, I'm like, good. Screw that other guy. Ass.
Morty playing the long game.
Burning your bridges is what that is. Like, can you give me a recommendation? No. Remember when you told me I wasn't your friend anymore? You stormed out of my office?
Yeah.
Get out. Get lost.
Exactly. No, absolutely. So then why is this film forgotten if we both like it? Are we idiots?
I think because it doesn't say a lot. Like we were talking about.
You're right,
it's just light brush strokes. It's over 20 years old now. I think Dennis Quaid's star is not as bright as it used to be. And I think Topher Grace isn't like a huge star where you're like, I got to go back and see that. Scarlett Johansson's good, but she's not a major character. And I think there's a lot of other like maybe bigger movies that got her to this point that she was doing back then that you maybe were what Ghost World is a big one.
Before this.
That's one of her first big ones.
Yeah,
so I think there's other films like that you would watch if you want to watch early Scarlett Johansson. This isn't one where it's like she's good. She's just not front and center. So you're not going to go watch this as a Scarlett Johansson film. This is a Topher Grace, Dennis Quaid vehicle.
When did that 70s show end? Around this time?
Around this time was probably when he left. And this is probably, it's still going on, but probably with the other guy.
Oh, that's right. He left.
And then it comes back. He comes back to last year.
He left season 7, 6?
7 or 8 or something like that. Yeah, I think once he left, I was gone. Yeah.
No, I stopped watching after the first couple. I just couldn't keep up with it.
Oh, I liked it. But yeah, I would usually watch the reruns anyway on like syndication. But yeah.
So I think what we have too is you have a lot of times and we are experiencing this because we're 20 years from this film. We're not like, like we don't know. Obviously, we weren't around when movies were in the 50s and 60s and 70s. Obviously, we go back, but we only really see, when I say I watch 70s films, I'm not watching all the 70s films.
You're just watching the big ones.
Right. And there are more films made now than back then, of course. But you have what you have now because you have all these movies that came out. Like, back in the day in the 70s and 80s, you maybe had one, definitely in the 70s, you had one release every month, one new release.
So only like one screen.
The 80s came and the blockbusters came in the 90s. And then you started having 4 or 5 new movies every week.
Yeah.
So I think you're in this time frame now where 2005, 2004, 2003, whatever, the early 2000s, you have your movies that are up here that are great. And always everyone talks about them. Then you have the bad movies down here that are forgotten or people that are so bad they're good. And then you have movies that are like in the middle that are decent, that are not great. They're not really up there because they just don't, like we're talking about, they just are kind of superficial. They just do the broad strokes. They don't really hit anything deep, but they're still good.
Yeah.
But they get lost. Now, I'm not calling them mediocre, but they get lost. The good films.
Yeah.
And it's just, I know I'm explaining the podcast, but I think you have a large chunk of those films probably from the mid to late 90s all the way straight through probably to like now, because they maybe a little, like, let's go right up to the superhero age. Let's go right up to 2009. Yeah. Because obviously we know what's dominated in those times. But you have a lot of these films that are they're good films. They're solid films. They've got good scenes in them. They got good people in them. But for some reason, they're not put up in this upper echelon of films. And so they just get lost. And you just like don't, you know what I mean? Like
really is the plot.
It is. It is. But still, it's like.
No, but I get you. Yeah. The middle ones. I like your analogy of the ones that are like the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Yeah. Like we don't go back and watch them. And these are those type of shows for a modern audience.
Yeah.
For sure. We know about them because we were around then. So yeah. We know In Good Company, but a lot of other people are not going to go back or know them because it's middling. Not in a bad way. And
that's probably why it's forgotten, like what I just said.
Sure.
But to your point of recommendation, I would recommend this, and I can't remember if you said this, but I recommend this to people that like these, that I know would like. I would recommend this to a lot of people. I think this is a film that is, I think a lot of casual moviegoers would like.
It's got a lot of broad strokes. So sure.
Let me do my broad strokes. But yes, so I would absolutely recommend this because I would think people have probably missed on this or forgot about it or like, oh no, I think I did watch that. Like go back and check it out. I think it's definitely worth it. And it's not long, which is good.
Right.
And I think what I said, why it's forgotten, is pretty much the same.
I think that works. Yeah.
All right then.
Absolutely.
That's it. I'm done. Where can they find us?
You can find us at ForgottenCinemaPodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts or shows. You're on YouTube, I imagine, maybe even Spotify. Now you can do comments on Spotify, I noticed, in the podcast section. So let us know what you think of this film. What's another good film that's similar in vein to In Good Company? I'd be interested to see where people put like in comments what they think is similar to this, because it's not quite a romantic comedy. It's not quite coming of age. It's something in the middle.
It's a little bit of an indie.
Yeah. And
I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Check out our other shows. We've got Lead Up series. We've got our Now Showing series. I believe when this is coming out, we're in the middle of our Scream series, maybe even just about finished with it.
Yeah.
And then we'll be doing Scream 7. And I don't know what our lead up is next, because this is not even Christmas time yet when we're recording this. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. Hey, but go check out the other things we did. When we're recording this, we just did our Knives Out stuff. And if you want even more from us, if you want to support our show, we have a Patreon where you can go on and support our show, or just sign up for free to keep track of what we're doing. We have exclusive shows on there for Patreon members. We have double voting. We have merch discounts. You get Discord access, all that kind of good stuff. So keep it there. And that's what I got.
Awesome. And next week, we're going to start a season 24. We're starting off with some light fare next week. A
feel-good comedy.
Feel-good movie called Cold Mountain. That's right. We're going to be doing the Civil War drama Cold Mountain, starring about 58 people that you know.
Can't wait for the cast list.
And pretty much most of the cast is overseas, but they're doing Southern accents. So shot in Romania. This will be great. That's right. That's next week, Cold Mountain. Until then, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I'm Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler.
And this has been Forgotten Cinema.